starting to make its way in. I think they've managed to crack the code here. 9 seconds and they're going to get the bomb plant. Apex, he's going to sneak away or kill on Chris, which again is kind of heartbreaking given everything that he's been through. But at least they get the bomb plant. And now, I don't know if there's much they can do for a retake here. Does not seem possible.
No, but again, you can set up to take all the weapons away. Money is still not great for Mouse Sports. Apex actually just running all the way back to the B-bomb site. He wants nothing to do with that idea, but Shox with an SMG. Gonna line up in halls. And at the moment, it looks like Frozen could fall back in that direction, but they'll find safety in the pit with that plant. So they don't even have to run too far. So I think Mouse Sports, all 3 players are gonna survive this blast. And we'll be all tied up, which is such a crazy thing to think about, considering that first half. If he just does some damage, he just wants the damage, he's gonna do it to Frozen. He gets one.
The sheer grit and just determination on Mouse Sports to bring it to this is kind of impressive. Can they actually follow it through and get us that 3rd map? It feels very possible at the moment. Frozen, tired of his bad luck, gonna try and create some of his own, and taking down ZywOo is a good start, but RPK with the return, dropping Karrigan, and he's in position. Rops is up there. And he's been the main engine, and he almost catches RPK. That's seconds away, but now instead he gets shot down. RPK in the pit. A big double kill for him already, and a 2-on-4, and Vitality have had enough. Chris will chime in with a kill on Apex, but they're still far away from winning this round.
Yeah, I don't know how you clear out these 2 players. Shox is going to start sinking back towards that B-bomb site, but RPK and Pit, Alex now going to clear out halls. They're going to transition. And actually, again, Mouse Sports, they're picking this defense apart. RPK making so much noise. Now they know. One is rotated away. They're going to be very happy about this, but RPK and Spawn has a chance. He can't win it. Alex up in the halls. Gonna hold the angle. The flashbang doesn't work, and he gets 1. Now he just needs to live. No reason to take this fight. Oh, but he's gonna risk it. This is a very difficult scenario. Alex, he can just survive until Shox gets here.
Yeah, that is the higher percentage win for sure. He's got him locked in the corner, but Chris, what a headshot! Taking down Alex. If he can get 1 more of those, everything is forgiven for how this has been so far for him. He's up on top of the box. Shox is coming down there. He needs the shot, but he won't get it. Shox surviving instead on just 13 health. That is such a good try for Chris. He needed it desperately, but Vitality, after losing 5 in a row, they come back, and now they're in the lead.
Bide your time. Don't try and do too much. Wait for your 1 moment, and that was the clutch that it felt like was going to be his.
I mean, he did everything that he could have, right?
Everything that he could, except couldn't close it out. 11-10. 1-round lead for Vitality, and Mouse Sports changing the pace, gonna be aggressive, and ZywOo feels it, and even Chris J checks. What an entry! Spins on Alex.
Oh, that's big. There's only 1 person in pit. RPK with a FAMAS. They've done this perfectly. RPK, you can't hold that for much longer. It's Karrigan and Chris with a beautiful opening here, and they're gonna have to fall back. Chris, I mean, again, you said it, you have to stay in the game, you have to stay floating, and eventually you're going to get your chance. Almost to the last round, this round.
Yeah, this round for sure. 2 big entries, even spamming ZywOo down through the smoke. All tied up once again, 11-11. That was the same scoreline we had in Mirage at one point, but what a spectacular recovery for Mouse Sports. And you have to think, that call from Karrigan to pick up the pace, to rush up mid very quickly, knowing, again, the situation that I outlined, 1 player surviving, very low on economy, very low on what they can spend in the next round, it was going to be light on utility. You weren't going to see a lot of those Molotovs down to prevent any kind of fast, aggressive play. And Mouse Sports took advantage.
Might even be worth mentioning that Chris is one of those players that in his own career, right, had to fight through a bit of a fragile mentality of getting really frustrated and disappearing in some big games and not really being able to come back and sort of having a lot of frustration within his own style. And I mean, this was early on, but that was almost like a public battle where he had to try to prove that he could fight his way through that, and he finally did. And it's good to see him, you know, just holding his head and continue to find ways to be relevant even in a really tough game. Apex is shooting the flower pots even as he's being killed.
He looks very angry. He looks very disgusted with that sequence, which makes sense. Rops is going to get a 2nd kill. Shox and RPK trying to get sneaky and push in the halls. There's 1 more player for Rops to deal with. It's ZywOo and Boiler. He's got a deagle.
He's very committed to the vandalism that's going on. Kerrigan with a good opening. Just time to save that M4, you've got to say. And even what Apex has, just better spent in the next round. Mousesports are going to be back in the lead. 12-11. This game is definitely not over yet. So far, Vitality have had a single round on their CT side.
When you say back in the lead, important to note, Mousesports has never led in this map until just now. This is the first lead that they will have had, and it comes right at such a critical moment.
Yeah, it's hard to even imagine that could be real at a 11-11 scoreline, but yeah, you're absolutely right. Rops now up to 26 kills in just 23 rounds.
Woxic at 20, and there's no one matching that output on the other side of the server. Alex at 16 is leading the way for Vitality, but those two players have kept. I mean, they kept Mousesports in it throughout the first half. As much as you can say that with 5 rounds, it's not great, but it's something that you can work with. That's spot time now, where it feels like Mousesports, the other players have woken up as well, and Woxic has taken.
Yeah, tables have turned. Any
taste of your own medicine?
Yeah, there we go. Now we've done it. 24th round. A better buy out of the Vitality side. Cyber with that AWP. We've seen some good shots out of him on the CT side here, but we haven't seen the round closing Cyber, and that's one of the things that Mousesports, I don't know if they're scared of it, but there could be rounds here where Cyber just, you know, gets 2 early kills, and then you feel like, how do we get back from this?
It looks like Mousesports have just simplified this T side. Like they almost want to make fast contact plays up middle. There's the swing. Shocks naded down towards that B bomb site behind the car. But Apex has rotated back towards Rap side.
Well, they got the mid control. They've got Rops up in the apartments. He's been there many, many times. In fact, so many times now that you're starting to worry that it's beginning a little bit too predictable. Cyber, you actually almost was out in the open there. Rops is going to try and make his way out on the balcony. I don't know if they know. Now RPK definitely knows, and the smoke will maybe save him. He's down. He's hunting for him. Rops with a big kill, and through the smoke, almost getting Alex as well. They need this round, Mousesports. They've just got the lead. They need to extend it. They need that third map, and it's very, very much on a round like this. Alex, still alive inside. He survived that early spray through the smoke, and now backup is being called for. Shox hasn't seen anybody over at Banana, and this is so strange. They're all in the pit waiting for a peek, and Vitality so far not giving them one. A quick trade. Cybu's still alive and looking for a follow-up. Now the fight comes out, and Apex is going to be going down, and Cybu alone on the bomb side, and he's going to get found with 13 seconds left. They turn it around. Very patient, bordering almost on the insane here for Mousesports, and they find a way through.
I mean, the hard part about that defense for Vitality, usually it's like, fine, stay in pit, we don't mind, but you don't have the information of when anyone's attacking, so when those fights begin, everyone has to take a peek and see what's going on. Mousesports is playing this second half so well, so poised to make this comeback happen. 13-11 after this. Shox, very uncomfortable in Banana, never able to start rotating, never able to get a flank going on.
It's one of those things where, you know, in retrospect, you could say, well, if he had been flanking, he would have been there just in time. But if he goes for that and they've miscounted and you know, there's actually only...
Other than that, it's just been a barrage of Woxic and Rops.
Right now, Rops is 10 kills ahead of Cybu, who's the top fragger on Vitality at 17. Rops at 27.
And listen, we talk a lot, and we mentioned, you know, Kerrigan talking about, you know, some of the mentality issues with his young players. Rops is not a young player. Rops has now been playing in the professional scene. He's young in age, but he's been in the professional scene playing in tournaments like this for, what, 2 years now, essentially?
He's been in a lot of different places, too, right? He's sort of been one of those players that's been... He's had a tenure in a couple of different areas. Obviously playing out of Estonia originally, so has sort of had to, in some sense, find a home in which to play. 13-11. This is wild. At this level of comeback, I mean, 10-5, sure, like that's a pretty good baseline to build something off, but it's the fact that they've only allowed for Vitality to win